Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and here are some of the things that made news this week. The TCG has at long last announced an announcement, and I'm here to announce the fact that they have in fact announced it. Blackwing support in the year of our Lord 2025? No, just reprints of cards from 2022 for $32.99. Yummy card prices? More like yucky ones, am I right, my broke-ass gamers? Come get your Duel Monsters a pair of Jordans with these all-new collab cards from Nike you'll forget existed entirely 2 minutes after I show you them. Yes, welcome to the home of the man who dresses like this to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! And then wears unbuttoned Hawaiian shirts with graphic t-shirts at his day job. That's right, my name's Craig Fee, and this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. We start with this week's top story, the announcement of a ban list for the TCG. Out of a fear of horse vomit, or whatever other deranged thing this community might come up with, Konami TCG has announced that they will not be releasing a ban list until after Worlds of this year, which for reference are being held on August 29th through to the 31st. This will give players another month and a half or so to enjoy Ryzeal and Malice with Abandon, and of course stock up on K9 or Vanquish Soul cards and Yummy decks before the list slaughters the current best decks to make room for the new toys. Or maybe they don't. Truthfully, it doesn't matter what they do, we'll find a way to complain about it. We're Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, goddammit. It's funny enough, I think that this is actually the format where Draco Tail is going to be the best one if the OCG is going to be what we can base it on, and I didn't even mention them, so I guess the Justice Hunters is just kind of nutty like that. All three decks actually have some merit. And that's actually all the news I have on this. I probably should have thought of another joke for it. And actually, yeah, I took time out of the process of writing the script to Photoshop that up in like 2 minutes, and I kind of threw off my train of thought, which you might think like it took you 2 minutes to make that. That's nothing, and not quite 2 minutes to make that. I also did in fact make this as well. I just Googled political comic and then found one I liked, and that one looked stupid enough, and then I don't know what the hell, I don't think I came up with anything of merit there. I just made that, and it took too much time away from the script, and now here we are. I could have edited it to improve it in some capacity, but I'm going to make the argument that I already did on that comic, so you can't hold that against me. Either way, the ban list is coming at some point in September, I guess, and before you might think, well, hey, what YCSs are happening in September? Because we've been getting the lists at YCSs and events, right, haven't we? Well, the only YCS I know of in September is in Lima, Peru, which unfortunately exists in a country where cameras don't exist. Or how else would you explain the fact that Konami will not stream or give a shit about that event in any capacity? If only cameras were real. Or, you know, if Konami cared, but they fucking torpedoed Edison, so it's not like they don't care, it's that they actively go out of their way to not care and disrespect. And on that happy note, let's promote some products for them, shall we? The Yusei Structure Deck Collection thingy, I don't know the name of it. Look, 3 decks, $32.99. Mom, I'm excited. That's coming, much like Obama, on November 7th, and has had its other 2 structure decks revealed, or at least the themes of them revealed. To no shock, being Black Rose cards to accompany those coming in Doom of Dimensions, and the reprint deck is not Red Dragon Archfiend, but in fact, Blackwing. Yes, that's right, they specifically tout reprints of Darkwing Blast cards, but it's not the Kashtira or Bestial cards you want reprints of. No, it's that one Blackwing everyone says looks like Simo, even though I personally don't quite see it. I think people just really want it to look like Simo because he played Blackwing for 98 years, which I believe how long the Progression series has been going on for. Also, pants! Get it? They do tease and more, so Blackwing players can huff that copium if they so choose to, but I really don't think we're getting any new Blackwing cards in this set in any capacity. Hell, the Black Rose deck explicitly says it's just got things to work in combination with the new cards coming in, dude, which would mean no new cards from that, and really the big sell is the new Yusei cards. So what you can actually look forward to is the Abomination Chibi art you'll be getting, and you'll have to cursed bury and carry with you until you die, or so I butchered that sentence entirely. The point is, it's an affliction that will never leave you, and it will make your existence in the afterlife significantly worse. That's just what the chibi arts do. There's still no word on what other cards will be coming in it apart from these themes, so it's still just running off the copium, you know, 1 copy of Imperm and 1 copy of Meowls that are getting reprints to make for $90 playsets of those cards, just like you have not been waiting for. And now, this.
Swells.
I'm leaving it up to me in the editing phase to figure out how I'm going to do that transition. I really hope I don't just do the plain swipes, but I also should probably come up with something better than simply an explosion. If only being creative was something I could do. That's right, it's the Craig Rant, and I'm talking about that thing MB talked about a week ago. MB, I forgot the T. Mr. Big Time, the one and only, made a video talking about TCG and its longevity in regards to the existence of Master Duel, and I think a number of people took it to be somewhat conflictionary? Perfect. Being a video of conflict about TCG and Master Duel, I don't think that was the intention. I'm pretty sure he's explicitly said it's not the intention, and it just kind of hit home for me, you know? I have absolutely nothing against Master Duel or its players. I enjoy it. My buddy no-lifes it like his life depends on it, and now he plays Salamangreat, great, and it's kept Yu-Gi-Oh! Alive for a number of people. It's also fantastic for your wallet because you can scuzz out free gems to get new decks, and spending 90 UR dust on some ultra rare cards that get banned feels a lot less worse than spending however much this cost me and not having a single use for them. Can you imagine if this card got hit or banned? I don't know what I'd do. Probably something involving this right here, but we don't need to get into that right now. Instead, we're talking about the TCG by and large. Master Duel is a good thing. I'm not saying it's not. I do agree that the stagnation of the TCG has been largely detrimental. And I understand that as people grow and get older, and Yu-Gi-Oh's got a bit of an older fan base now, or certainly seems to be that way compared to when I played it in my teens and through high school. I understand life moves on and having a convenient turn the simulator on at the end of the day when I'm home alone type beat. I like that. But the social aspect of the TCG specifically, the trading card game, the physical cardboard, is something that Master Duel just cannot replicate in a meaningful way, in my opinion. I get you can have fun with friends on Discords, but truly meeting up with people in person is its own unique thing that has a tremendous amount of value for your own personal happiness, or at the very least, that is something I strongly believe. I remember being against a dueling book in 2011 because I was worried my friends would stop hanging out as much in person to just play virtual Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of meeting up to duel like we had been. That wasn't a real fear, like it didn't really stop it. Dueling book just kind of made us way too hard on the paint for a casual little kitchen table format metagame we had going on. But I've always been against more digital than physical. I think physical has a lot of practical value, and hanging out in person really is just cool. And that's why it sucks to see the TCG fumbling the bag so goddamn hard, because I agree, there's a litany of problems with the TCG, from the printing scheme to the way they put the cards. Why don't we put the numbers on them like we do in the OCG to make them easier to read, to help onboarding new players just that tiny bit more? And so I can stop seeing the stupid paragraph complaints. It's just, there's a number of problems with this game that I'm not going to go into immediately now, and this might be worthy of the rare other type of video that's not the update on this channel, but it sucks. It really sucks to see the TCG dropping the ball so goddamn hard, not even in just regards to, you know, printing strategies and all the bullshit, but with, you know, Edison and whatnot, because the real paper game truly is something else. And I really liked and loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Through all these years, in large part because it allowed me to have an excuse to go and hang out with my friends. Because the same way that people will tell you that it's super convenient to have an online client to just log on, crush out 1 or 2 duels or however many you want to play, log off and go to bed, they're 100% right. But the same way that has been more convenient to me as I've gotten older, so too has having something that unites my friends with a common interest to meet up and do in person. That is way harder to come by the older I get than it has been in previous years. So having the excuse to meet up and duel in person was just a great, like, yeah, this is why we're gonna hang out today. And maybe that's a little weak that that's the only thing that can pull friends together sometimes, but sometimes that's what it takes. We all do have lives, we all have things to do, and a unifying trait is unbelievably worthwhile and seemingly hard to come by. I've been trying to find a new video game to play with friends for like 6 years, and the only thing that we can all agree on is fucking Rainbow Six Siege, because it's the only thing that everyone's console can play, because different people have different consoles, and different people have different work schedules, and da-da-da-da-da. It's just the one thing we got in 2017, and now it's my fucking cross to carry that I have to play that dog shit fucking Ubisoft trash game until I die, or until Ubisoft, praise be, goes under. Fuck that company. It's just like, It's so hard to come up with just a video game that that like links everyone's interests, and Yu-Gi-Oh was a tried and true thing that I had, and that I imagine a lot of you had, seeing as how if you don't care for Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't know entirely why you're watching the new series about Yu-Gi-Oh. I just think it's a tragic thing that it's going away. I think MBT really hit the nail on the head, that whole, you know, you gotta just stick it out for the TCG in a capacity. I get it, the company sucks donkey dick, it's absolute trash, the printing schemes and the prices, which I'll be going over in a moment. I cannot underscore enough how awesome it's been to have something to meet up and play in person with that we can linger on forever, because we still have the good lord, we've got cards and we can use them even if Konami says we can't use them in a tournament setting to do Edison as God truly intended. I don't really know the entire purpose of this rant. I think I need to sit down, hone out my thoughts and make its own video, but I'm just saying the core of this is I agree with Mr. BT. That's the thing that I'm saying, and that's it. That's all. And now for a truly seamless transition.
Swells.
Well, like I said, let's talk prices of cards, because that comes up sometimes when you play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Justice Hunters, better known maybe as just Ice Hunters, because you'll need that ice, that cold hard cash to be playing any of these decks. This set has been totally not leaked. It doesn't matter whether or not that happened. The cards came out. They got revealed by Konami's chosen content creators, and as such, we know the full rarity distribution and all the costs that you can get from pre-ordering these decks on your various online stores. They've made the distributions for this set a lot less obnoxious than they have in the past, or at the very least less obnoxious to the Vanquish Soul one. They did that once, 7 ultra rares, 1 deck. We'll never forget it. We'll never let it die. Instead, there's 3 ultra rares in the set and there's 1 for each archetype, so no matter which one you're interested in playing, go fuck yourself and your wallet. 6 cards are also coming as secret rares, and Wikipedia lists 3 as having prismatic secret rares, but I've also seen online stores saying Starlight rares, so it's fancy, awesome, sparkly edition cards coming as well. That is a step in the right direction. We'll see how well it works out. Multiple cards having multiple rarities, allowing for cheaper options, means more budget players can pick it up, even if they do have to deal with being bullied by people for being poor, for not having the sparkliest version. That's just the way of the universe. Not that it makes them entirely affordable, to be exactly. Going off Tier 0's online store prices, each of these deck cores will cost you $180 at the least expensive to $220 USD at the most expensive. So you're still spending, you know, $200 dues on it. I actually don't know what the conversion is for Australian dollars. Probably more than 200, probably like 300 or something, depending on how weak your fucking dollar is. Either way, it's not an inexpensive set for any of these decks, Yummy, Canine, or Draco Tail, but Prosperity once upon a time was like $450 for the playset of 1 card. So having the full deck core for $220, even if that's not necessarily the most expensive version of the deck core, is pretty reasonable. This might just be Stockholm Syndrome talking. I might be in an abusive relationship in regards to my wallet and this stupid cardboard, but $220 for the cat deck, I think that was about what we paid for the last cat deck. Rip to Pearly, you were a real one or whatever. Either way, that's what's up. They're reasonably pricey and they're reasonably not pricey. Schrodinger's card pricing here, okay? You can simultaneously complain about how this is too much and celebrate that it's a lot less than you maybe were expecting, all in one, and that's got to be worth something. And if not, it's worth like $220 USD. Hey, we did it. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. On to the last one. The last one, of course, being a sick new collab between Nike and Yu-Gi-Oh! Featuring 2 cards that are promotional material in Japan. I don't know what my body just did. We're saving this take though. That's right, 2 cards, Japanese. One's all in English, one's all in Japanese. Where is this being released? Who is this for? What is going on? If only I had put a modicum of research into this. I didn't. This is, of course, interesting and probably not coming to the TCG, and if it is, you don't really care. You probably care more about the fucking shoes that these are accompanying. That is, of course, unless you play in formats where Sakuretsu armor is good, because this is, of course, a new trap card. Poison, a Scorpion, power, new Trap of the Poison Scorpion. Nailed it. That power creeps Sakuretsu armor into oblivion. It doesn't target the monster that's attacking. It destroys the monster like Saku, and then it burns for 300 to time in the round. Konami, what the fuck are you thinking? You can't just print this shit. Now we have to live with this. This is even worse than that time they powercraft Sakuretsu armor. Or worse, hell, what about that time they power crept Sakuretsu armor? Or God forbid you make me mention that dreaded time in history where they power crept Sakuretsu armor. My God. Fun fact about that last one, it sells on TCG Player for $130 per copy. That might be a recession, I don't know. I don't know. What the fuck? The other card is, of course, an equip spell that makes the equip monster wind attribute and gives it 300 attack. Winds of Victory, or Winds of 2003-ass card design. Am I right? Anyways, I don't know when these are being released, how they're being released, if they exist. Someone could have lied, photoshopped them. I believe it. I've reported on it as if it's a fact, and that's how you know I work in the news business, because I just go by the facts. Anyway, that's about all I've got. Shoutouts to whoever allowed me to do this. I guess that was me. Shoutouts to me. This is actually, we're reaching critical mass here. Not necessarily because I'm out of the fucking Lyralist cards to shove into this thing, but because I can't close it entirely. Like, the magnets aren't connecting. They're actually incapable of doing that. You can kind of, I don't know if how well it's going to be picked up. Okay, there's a gap here because there's too many fucking cards in it. That's crazy. It's almost like no one on Earth needs this many Lyralist assembled Nightingales. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you impress your smoking Italian wife, and make sure you become a true duelist. Nothing could be more important than that, and if anything is, they're lying to you. Please continue to watch my videos that I might get more money to get more assembled Nightingales to continue to yell at them as a man loses his mind at the number of bird. See you next week.